The room was silent, except for the ticking clock. His hands clenched into fists. 99 attempts, 99 failures. People laughed at him. Some called him stubborn, others called him a fool. Even he started to wonder, was he chasing an impossible dream? But something inside whispered, "One more time." He took a breath, gathered his last bit of strength, and tried again. What happened next changed everything. This is not just a story about failure. It's about what happens when you refuse to quit, no matter how many times the world tells you it's over. Michael had always dreamed of creating something that would change lives. As a child, he spent hours sketching ideas, convinced that one day he would build something incredible. But as he grew older, reality was far harsher than he had imagined. His first project failed before it even started. No investors, no support, no money. The second one? A complete disaster. By the third attempt, he had drained his savings. His friends shook their heads, telling him to be realistic. His parents begged him to find a stable job. But Michael wasn't ready to give up. He believed in his vision. He kept pushing forward, scraping together whatever resources he could find. Late nights, early mornings, working in silence while others slept. But no matter how much effort he put in, failure met him every single time. One day, he walked into an investor's office, full of hope. He presented his idea with passion, explaining every detail, but the investor smirked, shaking his head. "This will never work. You don't have what it takes." Michael forced a smile, but inside, something broke. Rejection after rejection piled up. His failures became whispers behind his back, then full-blown insults to his face. "Loser, dreamer, wasting your life." Each night he lay awake, staring at the ceiling. His mind raced with doubt. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not good enough. The weight of failure was crushing. 99 times he had tried. 99 times he had failed. And now he stood at the edge of giving up, but something inside still refused to let go. Michael sat alone on a park bench, staring at the crumpled rejection letter in his hands. The cold wind bit at his skin, but he barely noticed. 99 failures, 99 reminders that he wasn't good enough. As he buried his face in his hands, an old man sat down beside him. The man glanced at Michael's expression and chuckled softly. "You look like someone who's been knocked down one too many times," he said. Michael sighed. "I've failed 99 times. I think it's time to stop trying." The old man smiled. "Ever heard of Colonel Sanders? He was rejected 1,009 times before someone finally believed in his fried chicken recipe. But he didn't stop. Do you know why?" Michael shook his head. "Because failure isn't the end. It's just proof that you're still in the game." Something clicked in Michael's mind. He had been treating failure as a stop sign. But maybe it was just a stepping stone. That night he went home and stared at his notes. The mistakes, the rejections, the broken dreams. They weren't proof of his weakness. They were lessons. Michael took a deep breath and whispered to himself, "One more time, just one more." And this time, he meant it. Michael woke up the next morning with a new mindset. Instead of focusing on his failures, he studied them. Where had he gone wrong? What could he improve? He refined his idea, tweaked his approach, and prepared his 100th pitch. This time, he wasn't just hoping for success. He was prepared for it. Standing in front of a new investor, he spoke with confidence. He didn't just sell an idea. He sold the lessons he had learned from his failures. For the first time, someone listened. "I like your persistence," the investor said. "Let's give it a shot." Michael's heart pounded. After years of struggle, he finally heard the words he had been waiting for. But it didn't stop there. With his first funding secured, he worked harder than ever. His idea turned into a product. The product gained attention. Slowly, customers started showing up. Within a year, his business took off. The same people who had once laughed at him now called him inspiring. His friends who doubted him now asked for advice. Even his parents, who once begged him to quit, beamed with pride. One day, standing on a stage in front of young entrepreneurs, Michael smiled. "Failure isn't the end," he said. "It's just proof that you're one step closer to success. Keep going." Michael's story isn't just about business, it's about life. Everyone faces setbacks, everyone hears no, but the ones who succeed are the ones who refuse to stop trying. Failure isn't proof that you're not good enough. It's proof that you're still in the game. Maybe you failed once, maybe you failed 100 times, but what if the next attempt is the one that changes everything? Michael's success didn't come from talent alone, it came from persistence, and the same can be true for you. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember this: you're not starting over. You're starting wiser. Your victory might be just one more try away.